Hello!
Oh, we didn't get it.
Welcome back, everyone. We're Not Great RPG, and we're here once again for the city of Oshuamp. It's Monday, and we're here, which is great. So we're going to go around the table real quick, introduce ourselves, and after a brief recap, we'll pick up where we left off last week. As always, I am Don, and this week I will be playing Ether Revia, the Grave Domain Cleric. And unlike some witches, I do have a wardrobe.
Mm-hmm. Damn, dude.
Nice. I'm Paul. I play Felix Gray, average book enjoyer.
I'm Glenn. I play Vorst, the good old book boy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Chell. I play Thariel, reader of many books, and I will in fact be wearing a wardrobe.
No shoes, though.
No shoes! Just wardrobe. Oh, no, I have shoes now.
Yeah, you got boots from the lady.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Made me feel really bad about that.
Boot lady.
I'm Sarah. I play Ritora. Another reader of books. We're in a library.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That's what we're doing.
I provided the books. Yeah, last time we were still in Whitehall. We decided to go find some boots for Thariel. We left Barry drunkenly alone underneath the table of orbs inside of the keep. We conversed with an elven woman and the blacksmith named Evelyn. Then we went over to the library and met the Red Dragonborn bookkeeper. We asked about very ancient books, and he was pretty startled to have people, especially new people, in the area. Vorst went onto the fiction side, was looking for some stuff. The other 4 people of the party went onto the non-fiction side, started looking for some stuff. We are in the midst of a few hours worth of categorical research into some ancient old manuscripts and pretty, theoretical early age of civilization and writing for theories on things in the world and what's going on. We resolved pretty much everybody's selections within the books. We concluded with Forrest looking at the areas for folk tales, concentrated on things with, if I remember correctly, the moon?
Yeah, moon fiction stories.
Moon fiction. Yeah, we were looking for folk tales in the north about the moon, the importance of the moon, and then Forrest found a journal that had a short little Aesop's Fable-like narrative in it, discussing the importance of moonlight in the progeneration of magic or regeneration of magic. Completely unsure. Person is clearly theorizing within the book, and then discusses the fear that something wicked may lay within the moon. So we're picking up there. Vorst chilling in the fiction side alone. The other 4 people chilling with yonder Dragonborn man, having just resolved. Chell had names, Sarah had boundary stones, Don had relics, Paul had planeswalking, rift openings, and the power of names. But we've gotten most of that information resolved. Again, a handful of hours would have passed.
I do still need for the funeral
Burial
rites.
rites.
Yeah,
Yep. Roll for that one also, because we were doing separates.
And the other thing that I had asked to look at was...
Silence, Dan.
All right.
No, I'm kidding. What's up?
Revias.
Revias?
Yep.
All right.
They're not real.
14. You can roll for that one, too. I know you're not doing the other
Pharaohs?
things. 14 for funeral rites. Again, in relation to just practices up here in the north? Yeah, that's where the things would be mostly anyway, in terms of what information would be up here, because this is a collection of knowledge of the north. With where you are at this point in kind of like the YA section of the fiction side, and we're talking funeral rites in particular, like, I don't think that there would be books that would have any of those elements very clearly laid out, because you would be reading work of fiction.
Mm-hmm.
You'd have to like
stuff,
yeah, you'd have to like really start to dig into a lot of the tomes. I would say with a 14, it would seem like it's not something that's common as you're flipping through maybe like 6 or 7 books. It's not like you're finding anything that is where in the fiction story funeral rites would be consequential to the plot. So Doesn't seem like there's anything. If you wanted to continue looking for it, you absolutely can. But I would say it's not something that's going to be very forefront. Done.
10.
10 for Revius.
Yep, 10 on the die.
On. You were looking already at texts about relics.
Yes, I believe so. And for clarity, this would have been Revius / burial rites, I think was what I said the last time. I don't 100% remember.
Did you also say, because Glenn said burial rites? I thought it was Glenn.
Did he?
that
Maybe it
looking
was
at burial
Glenn.
rites. I think you're thinking of Glenn.
Yeah, I definitely said
Whatever
something
he said.
else. I just don't remember what
That's
the...
me.
It was Revius and...
Glen
You
real
said like 3
rights.
things,
Yeah.
but I think you got
It
the
may
answers
have
to the
been
other 2.
astral projection, but I don't remember.
Yes, it was relics, astral projection, and Revius.
Yeah, that's right.
And I gave you all the relic stuff.
Yes.
10 on Revius. I mean, if you also want to attempt to look for astral projection, roll
Sure.
that now as well. Just because, like,
Yeah, they're
with
kinda-
looking for looking for multiple things, like it's going to make the checks for each individual thing harder.
Yeah.
Like because your attention
Sure.
is intentionally being divided.
14.
Yeah, I would say then in relation to Revius, like, it's something that you're trying to, like, kind of keep a lookout for. You found so much information on relics
Yeah.
that, like, the majority of not only your time, but, like, your attention was devoted to the information that you could immediately discern was related to relics.
Yes.
In Revius, like, I would say there's not anything that specifically mentions that by name.
Okay.
And there's not really anything you encounter that feels to you like what you do. Astral projection... I would say that there wouldn't be anything in relation to astral projection either.
Okay. Sure.
Can I look, since we're in the nonfiction section, in like, I guess stuff to do with like medicines or herbs or anything like that, like anything that would do with like healing or I don't want to say potions, but like combinations of.
Apothecary stuff.
Yeah.
Sure. In relation to that, just to, again, be clear for the nonfiction side, it is a chronological history dating backwards. So it's not segmented by content.
Sure.
So if you want to ask Doran, like, he could try to assist you, but I mean,
Fair.
like, it's not like he can just be like, oh, that's the apothecary section as a genuine thing.
Do you happen to have?
Boom!
Hey, go on.
Oh, God. She's speaking again. Am I still in the right mind?
Oh my god.
My God. Well, what do you need?
Are you familiar with most of the books in the library?
Familiar? Yes, I know that they're here.
Do you know of any books that might pertain to plants or apothecary or medicines or anything of that nature?
Diabolus books?
Yes.
Yes. That was a weird word to jump to, but
I will just say that while flipping through.
remind me again what a Diabolus book is?
There's some kind of theme with it.
An artificer.
Burn the witch! What were you asking? Sorry.
Remind me again of what a Diabolist?
One that drives out the devil? Medicine person. Healer of sorts.
Maybe that as well as others. Maybe not necessarily the devil, but, you know, other ailments. But yes, maybe that one as well.
All right. Oh my.
The devil's back.
I can hear them scratching the wall.
Let me
Walls
help.
of my mind.
He's moderately intelligent. No. I would say that he'd be moderately flustered at you, again, conversing with him, but also just like, there's fucking 5 new people in a library where you're not from Whitehall, and he's pretty overwhelmed, so I would say he takes like a few steps more towards the front of the building, back in the direction from whence we came, just kind of stops at a bookcase and just, maybe this one. No. This talks about rocks and stones.
How does you fucking dare? No.
Has he turned completely red again?
He's always redder. No. This one's about cooking. You kind of cook with plants.
Yes, I guess.
Sorry, don't be mad at me. Oh, what could she do? Your life depends on this story. Oh my God. I think this might be it. It talks about salt and pepper.
I think we're getting warmer.
That sounds like more cooking.
Seasoning,
I
right?
do like salt.
Oh, sugar.
No, not
Still
sugar.
cooking.
Perhaps I'll.
Sacred oils.
Can I assist you in
That's-
looking for a book?
That sounds like it's
Sacred
close.
Oh yeah, I guess the sacred oils would also work.
Anointing and sacred oils, I believe, was a phrase we heard at some point. Or
Where?
read somewhere.
What?
I can't recall.
Pick a place.
Belfarthen.
All right.
Certainly, the first page, I'll not rip
Rip it
out.
out. You mean this book?
I'll
Rip
print
the
it so
cover
this
off.
way you don't worry about. It's definitively a recipe on the front page. And very different handwriting from the rest of the book.
Yeah, I mean I'll
Mhm.
read it over.
Yeah, absolutely. You can also make an investigation check. You are looking for, once again, plants, medicines, and different alchemical concoctions, like apothecary-related stuff. Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, 18 on the die.
18. Sacred of olive oils. Extra
Yeah, 18.
virgin for me.
Why is it underlined?
Extra. More. You said 18?
Yeah. If it's,
So,
go ahead.
because this would be early on in the chronological history of the idea of an apothecary, I would say that this would be one very primitive but also like rudimentary, like the idea of like mush the herbs, water, maybe other things than water,
Sure.
like oil, maybe holy water, maybe sacred oils. Like, it's genuinely, not to say like the ramblings of a mad person, but like consider one of the first clinical doctors making an effort to, obviously we know of modern medicine, we've made many mistakes over the
Yeah.
years in our efforts. This isn't like, lobotomize the brain,
Yeah.
like strip the brain.
Have you considered putting them in a
That comes
asylum?
later.
But like
Yeah.
genuinely, like it
Massage the brain
would
with oils.
discuss like
With
bloodletting.
oils.
Like it would be making discussions of like what are rudimentary salves going to be made of. It would be a discussion of like some of the herbs that you've seen him work with.
Okay.
Not in his ritual sense, but like protective herbs, like curative herbs, like methods to try to expel poisons that would almost, again, badly induce vomiting that we in real life would know would be bad.
Would I be able to look at probably the newest kind of stuff? And I don't know if the spines would be labeled, but
no, the spines are not labeled on any
okay.
of the things in here.
I would try and look specifically for some of the plants and herbs and things that we've come across in Oshuamp. Like, I don't know if like widow's wail or any of those things would be prevalent in a book that would be in this kind of library, but like any of the kind of like plants that we've come in contact with.
Very good. Since you clarified that specifically, and you rolled an 18, I will not make you re-roll.
Hey.
Based upon what you're searching for, you would find, as you're getting through it, that a plant that matches the description of widow's wail, but is not named widow's wail, would be being used towards the end as, almost one might say, Don, a grand panacea. A panacea, like a cure-all. So the idea of it being able to be mixed in with other things, think of like, it's a dumb comparison, but it's like, you salt everything. It's like, hey, widow's wail can be utilized in a variety of concoctions. I'm saying widow's wail, the
Like
book isn't saying
acetaminophen.
it.
Like it
Yes,
can be used in a lot of
absolutely.
things to kind of.
So like, it would be like a foundational concrete ingredient that would be able to be mixed with other things to amplify, modify, or change, but in positive regards.
Does it say how it's used? Is it like mush into olive
No,
oil?
no, it doesn't. It doesn't say how. I would with an 18. I'll give you one use that you find in terms of being mixed in with other ingredients to amplify the effectiveness of healing potions. And when it's describing the plant, so like when we've seen Widow's Wail, I've described it as a long, dark green, protruding vine with pocket-like depressions from which small white cotton bud-like flowers bulb out of. It would have the same description, so like no changes to the description whatsoever. But again, it's not called Widow's Wail in this book. It would be called Ubloom Nectar. Yublom.
It's right there. You see that?
Yeah. All for me, baby. YU bloom. One word. A grand panacea, though.
And that's the like pocket of stuff that we found in the.
So,
Make it a fine.
in the description of it, it would discuss removing the exterior bulb, which is a protective measure of the plant, and that there is a nectar housed within that is the panacea.
That would be
Good stuff.
the goo that we found.
The delicious nectar.
The goo.
The goo.
The delicious nectar.
Can we call it the you goo?
Yeah, the you goo.
The goo bloom.
The goo bloom.
Goo dooby bloom.
We doing goopy.
With the goo.
We're getting into like Simlish territory.
Right.
Simlish?
We speak like a sim.
Like from The
Yeah.
Sims.
Oh, I was like, what the fuck are you saying?
Simlish.
I know. I did.
Yeah.
Now I understand. Yeah, they speak. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
There's some rules to that language actually, but I won't get into it now. We'll talk about it later. But
Okay.
I would like to scour the older part of the fiction section for any books we're talking about old gods, specifically gods, not demons or devils or benevolence is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for benevolence here.
This means when he rolls poorly.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can't fail.
As a genuine, you guys are welcome to spend literally, if you want, the entire episode and the entire day within the library. It is going to add up in time. Like, we're not just flipping through a 500-page book in like 2 minutes. Like, this is...
Sir, I'd like to make a couple checks.
Yeah, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you guys want to continue to peruse through novels, like, I'm very fine to do that.
We used to have speed reading competitions.
I mean, I can't set the audiobook to 2.5 speed.
Yeah,
It's
right.
ridiculous.
Jeez.
7.
7. Investigation.
That's 7. That's a god number.
Folktale. You're right. Not here, though.
There are no gods.
Oh, no, wait. No, it is, actually.
No, it
Quite
is.
Literally, it is.
Yeah.
7.
7 god number, 6 devil number.
Yeah, but I mean, in terms of, like, in this world origin, because I know that there's a thing associated with 7.
Can I roll that with advantage if it's pertaining to fiends?
You said not fiends.
Yeah.
Specifically
I don't
said-
want them. I know too much.
specified no
You're
fees.
just gonna be like, oh, this is old news. I already know this.
It was like I clicked on the advantage thing and it was like information on fiends and I was like, no! It's the other thing.
What if he considers gods fiends, though?
Fiendish god.
They did abandon us.
Benevolent. He said benevolent.
Yeah.
I want happy.
Huh.
Fiends. My fiends are happy.
I would say it's not that you can't find anything pertinent. It almost feels as you're moving... As you're moving deeper in the bookcases, like further through the course of the library, it feels almost like... So with Aesop's fables, the idea was that it was very rudimentary, like mortal animal things and stuff like that. So it was not utilizing anything of a higher echelon or higher power as a means of demonstrating. As you're moving backwards through the bookcases, it's not necessarily that experience changes. Obviously, like I've said, you're going into more like young adult and then like adult-ish
Aesop's
folklore.
fables to like Grimm's fairy tales
Yes.
to like all the way to the back is like the Bible type stuff.
Comparable.
Yeah.
So like you, as you're moving through, like I would say you would check like a book or two per bookcase. You get to like almost towards the back where there's one or two bookcases remaining. Pick up one, nothing. Pick up another, nothing. It feels like a reasonable amount of time has passed. That's the 7. Within the final bookcases, you open one, and it's not that it feels immediately like there is going to be a discussion about old gods or anything like that. But something about the writing, again, feels familiar in terms of the tone. I'm going to ask you to make a general intelligence check.
Brain blast it.
I'm not gonna use that one. Come on. 8.
8.
It's higher than 7.
It is.
That's good.
It's a story that talks about a father missing his 2 sons. Something about it feels, I don't want to say like important, but like again, it's the author's tone. Feels reminiscent to things that you've experienced before. Not necessarily like from this library necessarily, but like this voice sounds familiar.
And it's written in first person, at like the author is the father.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Talks about missing his 2 sons. But they have long since gone away, and he has been unable to find either of them. He believes they're both alive. He hopes they're doing well. It's the general midst of the story. Obviously, it would have, towards the end of it, for what we would associate, like, similar to, like, what would feel like the lead up to the narrative of like the prodigal son, of like, I hope that someday,
He will
not that I
return.
find my sons, but that my sons choose to return to me, to join me again.
Okay. And that was like all the way in the back.
Yeah,
Okay.
like one of the oldest books on the fiction side. Anybody else? Paul, I know you had said you wanted to look for more books.
The last thing I looked at was the Origins of Magic, the Weave.
Mhm.
I guess back in the very back section that we were escorted to, if there weren't any, because you said there weren't too many books back here.
There
right?
were like 3. Like it looked like it had been not recently. It looked like it had been formerly cleared out, where dust has gathered again on the shelves, and the like 3 books that remained here on this bookcase were like not hidden, but like tucked in against the wall, or like flat and thin, so like it almost blended in with the wood and the dust. It seems like these were like 3 forgotten books that were intended to be removed, but were not.
Did we grab any of them?
You grabbed all 3.
All
you guys
3?
grabbed all 3.
I guess I would like to. What is the building made of?
White stone.
Could I investigate the shelves for any more books that look like they may blend in or be hidden?
Ooh.
And if they're, I guess there's a subsequent roll after that.
Yeah.
Depending on results.
Absolutely. Be a good investigation check for trying to find any accidentally knocked over or obscured books.
Ooh. Let's see, 21.
Oh, now there should be. Of course there should be. I know who took the books. How clumsy the person is. Must there be at least one book?
So if you turn a book sideways and it's a big book, it would kind of look like a brick.
Mm-hmm.
Just nice and covered in webs, you know? Ooh!
Well, the awkward feeling of 4.
4 books!
Not all in one spot. But like as you're, in like a 3-tiered shelf bookcase where it's like, 2 or 3 of them almost like side by side in this row.
Damn it.
Like one would have fallen behind like one of the middle shelves and be kind of like ledged in between the space of the back of the bookcase itself and one of the shelves.
Okay.
One of them would be like pressed up into a corner and be, a very small little tome. Similar to like what Chell said, one would be like embedded like in between the two bookcases where like it would look like it fits in a seam between the two bookcases. Fourth one we'll say is on the floor in the corner of the room. Like not tucked away, but like again where the edges of the room would meet, there would be a bookcase that would not be flush against the wall.
Gotcha.
So like kind of clumsily knocked over and then fallen and like maybe accidentally kicked into the corner, like partially
behind
open.
like partially partially open, not like in between the wall and the bookcase.
In between the wall and the bookcase for the side.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess I would start to collect them off the shelves and then go to that last book.
Mm-hmm.
And this leads into what I was going to ask next perfectly, is if there's anything behind the bookcase.
We'll roll for that too.
Investigation?
Yep.
Small child.
It's Bran.
It's
That is a 6. You didn't see it. It was not a 1 on the die, okay?
Yeah,
it was a 2.
I would say that like because as you started this more thorough and intensive investigation for trying to find secret books, it's like, oh, maybe I'll find one. It's like, oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Why are there so many forgotten books? This feels weird. And you're like, what if... Nah, there's 4 books already. This is ridiculous.
This is absurd. There wouldn't be a secret ball.
There's 4 books. Like, I have so many things to look through now.
Yeah.
I would say you would kind of like get your fingers behind, feel that it was that the bookcase, if it's going this way, wasn't flush into the corner, so there was just a little space on the side in between the next wall adjoining and the bookcase. But the bookcase is flush against the wall that it is up against.
Gotcha.
So, like,
okay.
you would try to, like,
Nah, it
doesn't feel like it's moving or anything.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah, I mean, I would just collect them all and kind of, I guess, take a seat
Uh-huh.
and just kind of put 3 of them next to me, and I'd start with the smallest tome.
Sure, absolutely.
Just peruse through it.
Mm-hmm. Are you looking for anything in particular, or would you just like to peruse it?
No, I'd just like to peruse it.
Okay. It would be a short book, again, like, kind of like a little moleskin journal. So the ones that are not like full sizes, they're, roughly.
Scandalous, it's a diary.
Yeah.
I think they've all been diaries.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Like some of them have definitively been bigger, but this one
We're
looks,
just like, where'd you find that? Give that back.
this one would look like it's genuinely like a pocket, like a research notebook.
Jeremy shoved me on the playground today.
As you start to look through it, it would be discussing something that you're not overly familiar with outside of one experience. It would discuss the idea of carving magical enchanted runes into items. An experience called rune carving.
Rune carving.
Mm-hmm. Something that you saw on the suits of armor for the 2 crusaders that were fighting you before Sabrina arrived.
Oh, those fuckers.
Yes. It would talk about specifically attempting to embed magic, not like a spell, but magic in general, like a raw form of arcana, into that item. Not to just make it like how we, as players, would think of like a +1 sword. The idea of channeling and being able to then amplify the individual's own inherent magic. A 2 + 1 is going to be a 3. So if your own natural magic is a 2, having a +1 armor again is going to amplify your magical output.
Gotcha. Does
So,
it
like-
go into further detail about not using armor, like on
Yes.
the flesh?
Yes.
Okay.
It would talk about that as effectively a taboo thing because it would seem almost like the necessity for it would be scarring and effectively mutilation.
Okay.
It doesn't seem like this person believes that it can be done with simple inks. Almost like a branding, I guess, would be a better description for what this person would be theorizing about.
Got it.
And because it's small, I would say that the person would be describing this because it was seen specifically. Not in a natural experience in the world, but on individuals within the Dawn War. Not on the side of mortal kind.
On individuals as in on their bodies or on their armor?
On their bodies. I would say that it would be described by this person towards the end in a kind of like flowery way of attempting to give it some kind of moniker or monogram, but fiendish incantations.
Describing them as fiendish incantations?
Yes. Or brands. brands. I think also at that point that would trigger a memory that you've seen that on Rearda. That was on his chest.
Right. Was.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he came out of EU Turtles. EU Turtle.
Oh, Gott im Himmel! I am German now!
TU Turtle's pool. Rearda was cleansed of any of his fiendish brands and incantations.
What is it, Teresa?
This is Turtle.
Hello! This is Turtle!
You want some breakfast sausage?
Yeah, you guys are welcome to continue looking for things. I would say that while you're doing that, if you guys want to continue looking at stuff, you're also welcome to go other places.
I don't think we should linger too long.
Yes.
Like, I'm happy to keep doing lore. Like, lore is obviously a thing that I enjoy doing.
I'm definitely.
Yeah,
I mean,
not leaving.
you would see that I'm literally sitting down at like a table or bench or something now. I'm like hunkering down.
This is Felix in his element.
Yeah, I've got a couple other things I want to try. I wasn't sure if you wanted to.
Again, it's also fine if we split. Like, you guys are not obligated to remain in the library.
Perhaps we should find our companions in Barry and make sure that when we're ready to leave, we can do so. Felix, how's time looking?
I'll check the time.
It was moving, again, like
every like 20 seconds, right?
roughly every like 5.
Every 5, okay.
Now it's up to like roughly 1 every like 15 to 20 seconds it's ticking. So it feels like time is definitively slowing down for you guys.
Slowing down? So it's faster out there.
It's faster out there.
Time outside go fast.
Every time it comes up, my brain just malfunctions. It's like,
I watched it like you blue screen.
Victoria is right then. We should not linger for too long, or we will lose too much time in here.
No,
if we're
don't
not
go.
careful.
I've not spoken with new people in so long.
How long has it been since you've had another guest?
Oh, I mean, people from Whitehall will come in and every once in a while rent a book, which is nice, but you talk to the same 30 people or so all the goddamn time. Nothing new's happening.
Yes.
maybe,
You're all new in town. Single, hopefully.
How long has it been since there has been a non-Whitehall resident?
I don't think I've ever had one.
Oh. Well, now you have.
Again, this is why it was a very new thing for me. It's the highlight of my life.
Well, what if
I'm going to die quite soon.
What if we bring other people here?
Well, you're not supposed to.
I don't think we really know that many other people.
This is the riskiest and naughtiest thing I've ever done in my life.
That is... I just stopped there.
It's been a boring life.
How old are you, if you do not mind me asking? You said you were going to die soon.
Oh, I mean, I'm 64.
I am not familiar with the normal lifespan of a dragon.
Roughly 64 years.
63.
I mean 12. No. We live roughly the same age as most humans.
You have a bit more time then?
It is a medieval setting. The average
Oh, yes.
lifespan is not that old.
But there's never mind.
Well, most humans here die in their 50s or 60s. That's
Oh,
why I
dear.
anticipate my death to be imminent. A sweet release from this very dusty prison.
So Nesgrim was very old.
Either does he smell like death?
You can sniff the old man.
You said obviously that you had not had other outsiders during your time here.
Nope.
When was the last time that someone returned and brought a book in?
Oh, you mean someone returning from pilgrimage?
Yes.
Oh. Maybe 20 years or so ago.
All right.
Doesn't tell us anything.
Yes.
He just asked when.
I'm purely trying to gauge, because if I'm not asking specifically about Barry, they're all lying about how long Barry's been gone. But that at least gives us a point, because
Barry would have had
Barry
to.
would have had to have been here for that.
Yeah.
Do you remember what the book that they brought in was?
Oh, yes, something about new recipes.
It's the one she's reading.
No, that one's pretty far back.
Have
Salt
you
and
tried
pepper.
any of them?
I don't cook. The cooking is provided for us by Prudence. She cooks for the city.
Does
The woman from the tavern.
Yes.
she does the cooking by the book, I presume?
Indeed. Yes.
Fuck you.
Actually, her biography.
Oh, very
If I
good.
do the cooking by the book.
Very good.
It's a good book.
Nobody helps her.
I
A man
think she
named
has-
John, or
I think she has people within the tavern that assist her. I don't know, cook boys or something.
Cassie, perhaps?
I don't know what to call them. I'm not a cook boy. I'm a book boy. At this point, book man. Proudly.
You had made a mention before about reading a book about witches. I'm gonna fucking shoot myself in the foot about this one.
Yes. Quite some time ago. It was an interesting tale. I was much younger and possessed greater vitality.
Viral.
The dysfunction had not yet set.
Aside from the romance that I'm assuming you're insinuating.
Oh, no, not remotely. It was quite violent.
Okay, could you tell me a little bit more about the story itself?
Are you invested in the violence of witches?
No, but I am curious about a tale that seems to overtake you with interest.
Oh, well, again, there's not much that, goes on around here, so hearing tales from the outside world can be, interesting. Oh dear. It is on the fiction side.
Could you point it out to me?
Oh, I'd have to walk all the way up front and then walk all the way over there and then point. And it's a few bookcases in. I'll be a moment.
I mean, he's not like ludicrously slow.
It's not to you or
Yeah, he's an older man where, you know, roughly like 3 or 4 minutes. Forrest, you would see him walking over in your direction.
Oh dear.
Just asleep in the aisle.
Well, at least the dog man's comfortable. That's nice to see.
I kind of want to see if I in kind of what Boris was doing, like look for any similarities.
Hey, you can follow him over to the fiction side.
Yeah.
Food.
Oh, he's hungry.
The moon.
He wants to eat the moon. It's not the first time I've heard that.
All right.
In that.
He goes like a little bit more than a midpoint. So I mean, again, if it's like 12 bookcases deep, he's maybe in like the 7th, like center of the 7th bookcase. He just kind of like hobbles in and just, you know, fidgets and, you know.
Thomas
checks
Man
a
doesn't
couple-
remember exactly where this book is.
Oh, I'm not faking it. Here we are. You would notice it's not dusty at all.
Does the
Watching.
bookshelf move when he's reaching?
Don't touch me. No, he, you know, pulls it out and, God damn it, he removes the book from the book.
He whips it out.
You can see that it's not large. It looks like it would be a singular tale. So like, maybe only half an inch,
a novella.
quarter of an inch. Yeah,
Yeah.
genuinely, roughly like 40 or 50 pages. You're welcome to enjoy it. If you're a good reader, I don't think it would take you more than an hour or so to read something of this magnitude.
I appreciate that.
Do you have eyes beneath your veil?
Didn't you lift your veil, or was that elsewhere?
I think that was also.
That was elsewhere.
We've seen your eyes, right?
Yeah, you guys all have it. I don't recall you doing that here with him.
You didn't.
I would just lean in and whisper. I can't tell you that.
Oh my. Perhaps the eyes are not beneath the veil.
I will make a trade with you.
Perhaps they're elsewhere. That's terrifying indeed. Are they in your hands?
Hey, my eyes are down here.
I've heard of creatures with eyes in their palms.
If you can find me a book on languages, perhaps.
Lemon juice?
Lemon juice, yes.
I love lemon juice.
Languages.
Languages. All right.
Perhaps something to do with the history of languages or translations.
Oh.
I will show you my face.
My God. Of course, I'll find just that. I must hurry back to the non-fiction side. There's a chair in the corner if you would like to rest.
Sit on the very tiny stool, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, because it is,
read the book.
the children's side. So you're adjacent to Sleepy Time Forest.
I killed a guy today.
Vitora,
Oh, dear.
while they are looking at the books, would you like to
not
go
Barry.
back to the castle to fetch Barry and our companions, as well as try to find this record book of people that may have gone out on pilgrimage that we talked about looking for? If we are no longer looking at books, it might be in our best interest to,
Utilize our time.
yes, so that way we are not spending too much time here.
Yes, that's probably for the best.
All right. Friends, we are going to fetch Barry and the others. So that way we are utilizing our time here efficiently, since it will be limited.
Maybe get Barry last.
Fair. But we do have to go to the castle in order to find this list of people, so...
Always got the zoomies. It's gone full Reuben.
But yes, we will grab him last.
Just don't leave without me, and I'll just tap the belt.
Yes,
Oh wait, do you
of
have
course.
the belt?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
so we don't,
At this point, I'm wearing it.
so we don't even necessarily need Barry, but it would be
Well,
bad if we.
need him.
He is our
I
friend.
kind of want to leave him here.
I think obviously you guys are welcome to do what you want.
I-
You're leaving?
Only temporarily.
Leave. But I might die
Then,
while you're gone.
then I will return and attempt to ferry your soul to where it belongs.
Oh, God.
As I explained, that is something that
Yes,
I
I
do.
know, but
Yes, you
hearing the words offered is strange. Thank you.
You are very welcome. It is a task that I've chosen to do with my life.
Kind of all of us here too, then I guess. Perhaps you would have made a good citizen of Whitehall. My
Indeed.
hard drive space is low.
You're running out of memory.
That's where he died.
Hard drive low, and his eyes, just the light goes out of his eyes, and it's just sparks.
10%
Alright, so
battery
here's a
remaining.
robot. We have to go.
You're leaving with him.
Yes, we're going to go find our companions.
Oh,
More friends.
well, that would be wonderful. I'd love to meet additional people from the outside world.
Yes,
Ask them very interesting questions.
of course.
I hope I live till you return.
You lived to us arriving, so
That is a fact.
we
We are in the non-fiction side. It's good. See you. When will you be back? Where are your friends? Sorry.
They're at the. We left them by the tavern, I think, right?
Yes.
Oh, they're still within Whitehall.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes,
well
we'll
then
be back
I'll
shortly.
probably be alive. I
Yes.
feel much more confident now.
Yes.
Yes, I was.
The old ticker's slowing down.
Can I insight check that he means his heart?
Yep.
Like, does he need? Is he like?
It's 18 on the die.
Is he like a healer? Is he good?
I mean, you guys have been in the library for the last couple hours. Obviously, there's not a sun cycle here within Whitehall because we're within a demiplane and a contained sphere. Like, it doesn't look like he's dramatically slowed down in relation to when you saw him at first, but it's like, you know, he does, the more time you're spending with him, seem like he's actually pretty fucking old.
Sure. Can you feel the...
Grip of death?
Not the grip of death.
Well, I can feel that. No, I'm joking with you.
Can you feel the... You do not have a sun here.
Never seen it.
Can you feel the time changing between here and the outside?
Oh, no, not remotely.
It's not something that you are able to experience. You just experience the constant recurring darkness.
Yes. I did not get to go on a pilgrimage, so I've never seen the sun in my life.
Felix?
I mean, we could.
I knew you were gonna just like.
Perhaps when we're
Your
done,
sunshine, just imagine
there
the
is a
sun in
chance
your
that he
eyes.
just dies.
Okay, so I think we can take him with us, but I think maybe
I
we
just meant if you could just touch his forehead
Yeah,
and show him the
shine
sun.
the sun in his eyes.
Where am I going?
I don't think
Why
so.
don't we take him?
He will. I am not certain.
He
that
will be dead.
with the time differences between here and there. I am not certain that he might not.
You think he's going to rapidly age and die like Captain America or something? Like
Barry appears to be much older than he is.
maybe he'll reverse age. I don't know how this works.
Perhaps.
The sun's good for the skin.
Yeah.
He's also like at his age. Nothing lasts forever.
I'm not asking. I'm not saying that he's not going to die. I just would like to show the old man the sun.
Yeah, I
With your
mean,
mind magic.
okay, well, all right, we'll talk about it when you get back.
All right.
Show him the
Maybe
bright
let
light.
Barry sleep until we're ready to leave.
Yes, we do not plan to disturb Barry until we are ready to.
Because maybe we should leave him here. I really think we should.
Not for much longer.
I don't.
I hope death brings me peace of mind.
What if
Great taste of death.
Cobbler.
He is supposed to remain here.
What if we need him out there?
What do we need him for?
I mean, he got us in here.
The librarian.
No,
Where
but
You
are
all
we
over
taking
the
the librarian? He's old.
Dragon
He
man.
can run. I mean,
To see the sun.
good run. He hasn't seen the
so show him the sun. Let's go.
Oh, yes, even the books about these star things are absurd to me. I've never seen the night sky.
You want being a hog, not even showing
Come
it to him.
on,
You're
let's
like,
release the definitely innocent old man
Yes,
from
please.
the demi-plane.
Of course. Let me go.
Release
I
me.
am but an
This is how we
innocent-
create villains, Chell. Let's go.
I
I'm
am
not
but
saying
an innocent
release
red
him.
dragonborn.
Red Dragonborn are extremely rare.
Indeed.
I think he's trapped here, but he's not like imprisoned
Yes.
here.
Oh,
No, he's very
not
much
imprisoned at all.
He's very imprisoned
Oh,
here.
that's-
He can't leave.
Yeah, that sounds like imprisoned to me.
Oh,
If we do,
I rolled a 2, so I'm a 6.
18.
6.
well, our options are either.
He feels like he's in prison. So like when he says it, it's one of those like when you feel like you're being sarcastic and you can't commit to the bit, so you just intrinsically crack. Where it's like, well, I'm not imprisoned.
Like a sadness about
Yes,
it,
yeah.
rather than
Yeah, not the same like Dorgrim, like let me out. Much more like, oh yes, my life has been a lie in a prison. It's all I've known. So sure.
Living the dream.
Yeah, it's living the dream.
Yeah, very much that.
Oh, now come on.
It's not like it's a good place out there that we'd be taking him to.
If we do choose to leave Barry here, I think we need to leave him the belt. If
He
we
needs to be able to come and
if
go.
we take it and we do not make it back, these people will never be able to leave.
Dear God.
as far as
and-
we're aware,
But
Barry's
we need
been...
we need somebody to make another one.
I'm not sure that it can be made another one.
I think Barry needs
What
to
do you
leave, and I
need?
think he needs to have the belt with him.
Pants?
Unfortunately.
No,
Oh, sorry.
that is all right.
I can only eavesdrop so much. I'm quite old.
There is a very attractive witch over there.
Oh yes, no, I'm looking for something for her so I can see her face. Oh, I got distracted at the thought of you all leaving me. Oh, life is so
Doran,
hard.
where's the book?
Oh, oh no. I don't even remember what it was for.
Languages.
What's that?
Languages.
I can hear the witch call out to me.
Lemon juice.
Languages.
Swear to God, he comes back with a cookbook.
No, languages. Speaking languages.
Speaking in tongues.
He won't have to worry about ever
Yes.
seeing the sun. I will show him the
There you
book.
go. This does have a lot about tongues in it. Perhaps this is what she wants.
You might as well bring it over.
Is he in this is nonfiction that he's in?
Yeah, nonfiction.
Okay.
We will talk about it when we get back. But
Don't leave me.
we're just going out for a bit, not into
Please, the depression cuts deep.
Doran.
I understand.
I'm coming! You see him like drop the cane, just hobbling, like, oh dear, she might leave. You know, he like tries to like Tokyo drift on his, Dragonborn feet heels and just scrapes. Oh, this discusses languages.
Does it discuss language?
Yeah, he hands it to you, and you kind of open it, and it discusses, the slow formulation and accumulation into what we would call common. The idea of root words being taken from other languages and things like that to be able to combine across other languages and try to find similar sounds, similar root words, and things like that.
What kind of roots does it say it comes from? Like, I know we have, like, Greek, Latin, and whatever, but does it say, like, obviously not abyssal or celestial, but, like...
It would utilize celestial. It would utilize celestial, sylvan, primordial.
Big three.
Yeah, genuinely, I think those are pretty much the big three.
Okay. Is it like a translation book in the sense that it's like this word meaning this and where we get this word from?
For some,
Right.
yes.
Not like a direct, like, if you
Correct.
say this is how you say it.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
It would be more, again, along the lines of like a root word where you might take a suffix
Sure.
that might be, ooh, this is why these words are going to be built from this word.
Like
Okay.
Latin study kind of
Correct.
thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Doran, would I be able to keep this book?
You love it?
I love it so much. Thank
Of
you so
course.
much, and then I just place my hand on his hand.
Your face.
Yeah, I mean, you feel him like shaking from nervousness.
Okay,
Like,
sure.
oh, please do not use your magic. I'm very afraid.
I just, like, slightly grab at my veil.
Face of death. Doesn't take me. At the last thing I see, it leaves me something.
I'm gonna kill him. Just by
Why are you
looking at him.
torturing this man?
So,
He's welcoming it.
can I...
Yeah, why are you looking at spells?
Look at it smells. Don't hurt him. Whoa.
Can I use...
You're in the fucking nonfiction side.
I use thaumaturgy. It can alter the appearance of my eyes for 1 minute.
Sure.
Because I can't remember what... I think my eyes are blue.
Yeah, they're light blue.
Can I add, like, a twinkling, almost, like, glowing, in, like, a cool way,
Yeah,
not
yeah,
in a, like, oh my god, she's gonna kill me! Like,
Sure.
in, like a literal twinkling of my eyes.
Can you
and,
do
like,
me one favor? Sorry to cut
No,
off your
that's okay.
description. What are the components for thaumaturgy? Is it just verbal?
yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. You can continue your description then. Just so this way, if it's like, as a sincere thing, if it required somatic movements and you put your hand on him and then you started to go like this in his face, he would have a genuine reaction.
Sure. So, like, as I'm going to, like, pull it, like, especially with my facial coverings, like, I would kind of, like, whisper it under my breath,
yeah.
and then pull it back, just so it looks like I have, like, a twinkle in my eyes.
Yeah, you
like,
got
kind
big
of the whole,
anime
like, 90s,
Yeah, okay.
stairway, yeah.
It's kind of dark.
And do the whole, like, batting of my lashes.
Yeah,
like,
sure. So, I mean, you have, one hand on his hand, like, as he's, like, handed you this book, you've looked through it, he's just kind of, like, concerned that it's not satisfactory, you say you love the book,
He kind of starts to lower his hands. You put one hand on his.
Yeah.
And you go and you peel back your veil.
Yeah.
As you're peeling it back, you say the incantation for thaumaturgy and unveil your face to this man.
Yeah.
Big, beautiful, wonderful, blue eyes, the sparkle in it, and you just see him, like, genuinely at the edges of his eyes, like, tear up. Just, oh my. I've read of witches, and they're always described as such wicked creatures. But perhaps the beauty is part of the allure and why people are susceptible to fall for their curses. Well, I get it then. You may curse me. It's worth it. I mean, at this point, I'm quite prepared for death anyway. Why not go out with, some kind of at least luster?
Seeing that he's kind of awestruck, would move my hand from his, slowly place it on his cheek, and just go, I do not wish to curse you, but I do have a question.
Is that a curse?
It is not.
Oh, good. All right. Oh, what can I do? Anything. I'll burn the whole place down.
In the middle of the book, you just hear in the back.
Why does it sound like the comments on like a TikTok, like thirst trap?
Please step on me!
Oh no! I was literally gonna say, of course, Chel's trying to fuck the librarian.
Which, sorry? Sorry.
I literally thought when she pulled the veil back, you were gonna be like, "Oh, I could do that."
That'll be.
God, how do I want to ask this?
Will you marry me?
Oh, did we lose the stream? Or is my phone messed up?
I don't have it up.
Yeah, no, your internet went out. Oh well, keep playing.
That's
fine.
It's recording.
It'll come back.
How long has Barry been here? I'll roll for persuasion if you want me to.
Yeah, you can roll with advantage. Oh.
You motherfucker, I swear to fucking God. You see these dice, right?
What is that? What is that one?
That's exactly what you think it
Oh
is.
no.
That's an 8.
It's fine, because I had him roll at disadvantage because he was genuinely very taken aback.
Good, because I rolled a 1 and a 2.
I rolled a 1 and a 6. So I have to take the 1
Good.
because I rolled at disadvantage.
Fantastic.
Yeah, right?
2 beats
Nice.
How long has Barry been here was the question specifically, right?
Yes.
What do you mean?
When did Barry get here?
Well, Barry was born here.
And then he left?
Yes.
How long ago?
We're not supposed to say.
I just kind of like... You can tell me, we're friends.
Oh, when you put it that way.
You just friend zoned him. You're out.
I'll never speak to you again. Bitch, you're a witch!
The books were right.
She did curse me with love! Unrequited love! The worst curse of all! Let me die in peace. He is actually kind of sad that you just said you're
Well, wait
friends.
a second, I didn't... Alright.
You weren't friends a second ago. This is
Yeah.
a step in the right direction, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's infatuated.
Like,
I didn't say, like,
is
you're
your
my
hand-
buddy old pal.
Is
I'm
your
like...
hand still on his cheek?
Yeah, I mean, this is not a friend. I'm literally doing this. This is not a friend. I'm not like, hey, buddy,
Okay,
it's a
all
pal.
right.
Come on,
Love
bud.
it. Like,
Alright.
Alright, come here, Paul. Let's try that. Let's see.
let's kiss. What's
Does this feel like friends?
Alright, now a little more tongue. No.
When do we get kiss opportunity?
You did get a book of tongues.
Got tongue, brother.
He uses his tongue.
Is that a spell?
Yeah.
Barry is a strange man.
Mm-hmm.
Barry's actually not been gone very long. Barry is aging rapidly because there's something wrong with him. Something that ages him whether he is within Whitehall or outside.
How old is Barry actually?
maybe 20. We think whatever afflicts him is aging him exponentially quicker than most people. That's why it's important that Barry stays in Whitehall, so we hope to see if his experience of time slows with the slowing of Whitehall's time. It is important that Barry survive. You're not allowed to tell people this.
It'll be our secret.
Oh, thank God.
I'm assuming most of us hear that, if not all of us. I don't know how far away I would be where the closest seat was to the nonfiction. I mean, I heard I'll burn this place down.
He
just screamed
it. This would be much more him speaking at a whisper.
Got it.
You guys would have been walking out. They're 8 bookcases deep, so they're 3/4 of the way through. I would say even with the wildly high Ether PP that genuinely know, like,
Every time.
he is kind of taken aback. What's your
Okay.
passive? Because
My
you
passive-
are across the bookcases.
It's 15.
I would say that you would hear parts of it.
Okay.
So like roughly 50%. So like
Okay. Yeah,
Barry's
no big
not
deal.
that old. Barry's got something wrong. We have to keep Barry, like you would
Keep
hear
Barry
in
here.
and
Yeah,
outs,
yeah. Gotcha.
things like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, that means even the music's dead, right?
It's
That's
back,
what it
so
is.
if you
Back up.
refresh, it should
Oh
come
shit!
back.
Really? Okay, cool.
So Paul heard Barry aging. He may be years. He actually gone long.
Yeah, sure.
Every other word.
Okay.
Okay.
I didn't
It's
mean
really bad
every other
seltzer.
word
I know,
like
I know.
that.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, like
Don't
stupid.
very secret.
Don't bury
It's like
secret.
watching a movie without the subtitles.
Mhm.
You only catch some of it.
What?
Why can't people know this?
People are already scared of Barry. Some things happen as you age. Some things change about you. Your mind can start to go.
Oh, it took me to the morning.
The morning or the morning?
We need the afternoon playlist.
Good morning.
Good
Good morning. Oh. Good morning.
Barry's already had issues with self-control. The thought of Barry succumbing to the madness of whatever afflicts him and killing us all is a very real fear. Again, it's not like we really speak with people outside Whitehall, so it's mostly kept a secret from the people of Whitehall. We don't really have much experience with the lie for the outside world. No offense.
No, none taken.
It's not like I mean, you clearly arrived with Barry. You had to get here somehow, but Barry doesn't really know that.
Why is Barry the only one that can leave?
Barry's got the key. A moon key.
And he got that from Anansa.
Oh, yes.
And when did Anansa leave?
Oh, Anansa left. Hard to say for your time. Our time differs. For us, it's been, roughly 15 years. For you outside, that could mean upwards of 100 or more. I cannot say factually. I have not been outside. But Anansa wished to die in peace. And to see the stars and to see the sun. She'd spent most of her life contained within Whitehall and had very few opportunities to leave.
Is there anything else you can tell me about Barry?
No. I mean, again, I really shouldn't. I hardly know you.
I'll just pretend to be like a little bit like offended, just like, oh, I don't normally show people my face. I thought
You don't?
never. That's why
Never?
I felt a connection with us. I thought
Now I'm going to make you roll for deception.
that's fine. Don't fuck me, dice, please.
You're gonna use the same one that rolled the.
Deception?
Mm-hmm.
7.
18.
Well, I mean, as a dragonborn, I feel the heat.
My icy
My
balls.
lords. Oh no, I should get that checked.
I'm a plum.
Check out the shameless section again. Feel it. Drive this devil out of us. Oh God. Well, anything else about Barry? Just anything?
I'm sorry. I'm getting caught up in the idea that I did the what D&D thing of rolling to seduce the dragon.
Yep.
You did.
You absolutely did.
You did.
Wow. Now you've played the game.
I win. I win D&D.
Drop the
it up,
balloons,
guys.
pack it in. We're done here.
Barry. Barry's a decent man. When he brought back the person from the city after he was initially given the key by an answer, we'd not seen him in a few years. It was strange that he brought someone back. He'd been specifically told by her to never bring anyone here, and here all you are. The man that he brought back seemed very eager to be within Whitehall, and unfortunately none of us are very equipped to oust anyone of any martial or magical prowess. The man seemed to command a great power, not only of martial skill, but of magic, beyond the capabilities of Barry. Barry was losing that battle until he lost control of himself. Barry transformed into a terrifying creature. Strange wolf-like man. A great mane growing out of the back of his head and over his neck and shoulders. He grew much larger and broader. And his hands, fingers extended like claws. And while he had been previously overpowered by this, usurper, Barry in this form ripped the man in two.
That sounds horrifying.
It was indeed. It scarred many of us for life.
Is this why you fear Barry?
Well, yes. Very much so. We've seen him lose control only once, and it resulted in a man being brutally mutilated and eviscerated in front of the town.
Mm. Do you know of this not Barry person? Is that...
Well, I only know he was... Barry kept calling him Barry. And the other man insisted that he was Barry. He didn't seem like he believed it. But Barry seemed to like having a friend. He's always been kind of a lonely person.
So, the not Barry man is insistent that he is Barry.
Yes. That he was like Barry.
Did that man ever explain why he thought he was like Barry?
No, they entered Whitehall and Barry began to show him a bit of the overall layout of Whitehall, and the man demanded entrance into the keep And Barry told him that even though he considered them, I think he said bros, that he could not bring him within. The man became very violent and angry, demanded entrance, and Barry said he had to do the one thing that he promised at Ansa and keep the keep safe.
And what happened to not Barry? He was.
Oh,
kicked off and whatever?
he was ripped in half.
Oh, okay. So not Barry is gone.
Oh yes, that man was definitively dead. We had to clean up the body. It was not a fun experience.
And this is the bald man with the beard.
Yes. We don't really have any burial grounds, so we had to create a big bonfire, and there's no ventilation, so I'm sure the ash and smoke of his soul still lingers here.
Berry barbecue.
Start floating into the sky.
I can smell him.
I can smell you. Oh boy.
I would say while you're doing that, you two left, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
we were wandering off towards the keep to collect our friends.
Yeah, we went to the tavern first to get the others, because Barry was at the keep.
You're looking for Felthul.
Felthul,
And
and
Yaz.
yeah,
Catherine and Rearda.
Catherine Rearda.
Oh yeah, they're with us.
And Sabrina.
And Sabrina.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Everyone else.
The everyone.
Your 5 friends are sitting at a table just very awkwardly, not really making much conversation because,
Is everyone like staring at them?
yeah, effectively, it's very much the really feel like outsiders in a place like this, and we're just house and a ham. Just a whole fucking honey roasted ham. That's also part of why people are staring. They're like,
Good for him.
he's like Barry.
That's the only fucking, that's the only noise in the table. It's like they're all just sitting there quietly. Phil's like, did you say something?
What was that?
No.
No one spoke.
No. I thought you.
Yeah, I mean, Yaz would
He's
just be
also
kind of like
asleep.
looking around at the other people and just
the
like,
old man.
hey, nobody else here is a little girl like me. It's a weird fucking place in here, Felthul. I don't understand you speak common. Oh, sorry. I don't see any other people like me here. No, nor do I. Yeah, I mean, you guys would open the doors and see them kind of sitting there, and they would hear the door open and look in your direction.
Some of the sauce.
Most of them would wave and just kind of wait for you all to approach, and I'm assuming you obviously do.
We're actually gonna stand all the way on the other side
Yeah.
of the room. Hello. That will
Walk up.
walk up.
Are you all right?
Well, I mean, Rita's really loving this ham. Very aggressive eater.
Yes.
Yes.
Uh,
We're collecting everyone. We left the others at the library.
Isn't that the opposite of collecting?
Well, we were going to collect everyone and bring them to the library.
Oh, you mean you needed to gather us?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I mean, we obviously don't really have any individual business here, so... Where are we going?
We have
should
to-
we drop them at the library first, or?
I mean, it's not like you guys walked far. You walked like 60 feet
Sure.
Yeah.
from the library
Bring
to
them.
the tavern.
We also could just leave them here to eat and pick them up when we leave. In retrospect, if it is that
Yeah,
If we have-
close.
Are we doing anything to help you?
I think we have to leave soon.
Yes, but it is so close. It might be better for them to eat here rather than be in there.
Are they all eating, or is it just?
It's just Rearda. Like, Felthul and Yaz would both have small plates of, like, ration type food, so little pieces of bread, some cheese, maybe some dried fruits and stuff like that, that Yaz is, like, slowly picking at over the moment or so that you're sitting here. Felthul would have had, a predominantly empty plate in front of him, as though he's already eaten. Like, again, you guys have been in the library for, like, 6 hours.
Yeah. Phil, are there any books or anything that you need to look at for research purposes before we leave?
Oh, books on demon calling.
Well, then perhaps we should bring them to the library.
Also, books on, stopping the spread of blight.
We probably should have looked into that as well.
Yes.
You didn't?
We have
A lot of things
a lot
to
of
look
things
for.
to look into. If you want, we still have to go collect Barry.
Okay.
If you would like to meet us at the library, you can speak to the Dragonborn there, and he's
Dragonborn.
he's the librarian, I believe.
All
Yes.
right.
His name is Doran.
All right.
A very nice man.
I'm sure he and I will get along swimmingly.
Yes, but he should direct you to where those books are.
Yes. All right. Am I bringing the vampire women?
I can bring everyone so that
He would
we
probably
can all meet
like that.
together.
All right. A strange librarian.
He loves outsiders. There are not any here, so getting to talk to new people is exciting for him.
Certainly, for a recluse like him,
Yes.
I'm imagining it's a reprieve.
Also, women.
Oh.
Yes.
And specifically Thoriel.
Yes.
Whoa.
Spooky women.
Oh, well, I mean, he just gestures to Catherine and Sabrina, and they're
Yes.
just like,
We get it.
we're really spooky.
Attractive spooky, not scary spooky.
Oh,
Yes.
like, gotcha.
Yes.
That's so rude.
That was really rude.
He doesn't
Now
fuck
they're
with
both
ugly,
offended.
spooky ladies.
Now
Only
they're-
the good looking ones.
Now they're both offended.
This man has taste. He only messes with 8s. Your 3's gonna have to stay right here.
All right, well, do I take the dog man?
Yeah.
Probably Vorst is there. Maybe get a ham for the road.
Road ham?
Yeah!
One road ham! You just see the tabaxi lady just holds up a ham. That'll do.
It's on
And she
wheels.
just walks over and hands him a ham with a bone, and Rita just second ham.
Road ham.
Road ham. I like this place.
Are we still overfeeding
Okay.
600 pounds by the end of the campaign.
To be fair, he's always been like this.
He's just used to eating
He
like
better,
this.
he better put on weight, is all I'm saying. Okay?
No, he's
Does
always
he
had a
look like
fast
he's put on weight
metabolism.
in the time that we've...
Yeah,
He's eating
A
for
hungry
12.
boy.
he's voracious.
He's growing.
Last time. No,
Well,
no more of that.
I've never taken a ham into a library, but I've not done a lot of things in life, so come on, friends
I'm sure that's fine.
little
I'm sure that's fine.
girl.
I've never
Little
heard of any
girl.
library rules that restrict
right.
bringing a ham.
I feel like this would be a fun scavenger hunt
Yep.
game where it's outside of D&D. It's you have to do things from Oshuamp, and one of the things is take a ham into a library.
And you have to take a couple bites. You
Yeah.
gotta start eating it.
Road ham. Check.
Achievement unlocked.
I had sorted the 1 pound of chili spice into little bags. I would pull out a small bag of it and hand it to the tabaxi woman. These are spices from the outside. I know that you do not use currency here, so I thought this might be helpful in exchange for the hams and whatever else they consumed.
Giving me a small vial of powder in exchange for 3 hams and 12 beers?
I did not realize
beers!
that's how much was consumed.
Just by the dog.
I'll pull out some more.
2 vials?
Oh,
That's all?
These are very rare dwarven spices.
Dwarven spice.
Yes,
Made from the bones of dwarves?
highly possible.
Well, then, absolutely. This is a spicy dwarf.
Because they're dead.
Yeah, no, you're fine.
Thank you. I apologize. I do not have many personal belongings to trade.
I mean, nor do we in Whitehall, so it's all right. This is a rarity that obviously we would have never experienced if your friend didn't eat a lot of ham.
Yes.
So,
Are you well suited on cooking cutlery and things of that nature?
yes,
All right.
don't worry about any of the trades. Thank you.
You are very welcome.
Yeah, she turns and just starts to walk back towards the exit. I found spices! No, I mean the back room of
Yeah.
the tavern.
I'm starting a war.
Got to go. Give me a ship. I'll kill anyone for this. Yeah, no, I mean, you guys would see, like, Felthul leading the other people out, and Rare just gnawing on Ham in the
Point
doorway.
them in the right direction.
Okay, yeah, outside, yeah.
Yep.
Felthul would just...
Felthul, before you go,
Yes.
never mind. I don't have this information.
Demon caller.
We'll talk later. You can.
We'll talk later.
I was not present for the conversation that would have prompted this
okay.
question. So.
Sure, that's fine. Okay. Well, we'll see you all there, and hopefully the ham does not disturb the book reading.
I assume it will keep Rid occupied for a bit.
Doesn't strike me as a big reader.
No.
There are little chairs in there that he can sit at.
Vorst
going
is
to
in
give-
one in the
Yeah.
corner.
I was going to give the chair to the little girl.
There's
there are
multiple.
a lot of them.
Oh, well, all right. We'll put some together and make a little bed for the man.
Yes.
All right.
Sleep the ham off.
Yeah, no. I start walking in the direction of the library.
And then we'll head to the keep.
Yeah.
Peepers deep in book.
Book number 2.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that, like, half an hour has passed. You would be definitively into the second book. You guys are walking towards the keep.
Yeah.
Vorst is snoozing in the corner.
I've since fallen out of the chair. I'm laying on the floor now.
So I just gave him a little besito and was like, thank you so much, and then left it at that.
Don't go. Please don't leave me. Second book.
Second book.
Yeah.
The second smallest book.
Okay, sure.
I'm going in size order.
It just gets smaller and smaller.
No, they get bigger and bigger.
Oh, okay.
Teeny tiny little book.
W secret. What does it say?
As you start to go through this one, you would see it is specifically about construction and construction materials. Would you use time to look into it further?
Materials. Yeah, not. Yes, I would.
Okay. Yeah. I would say for it also being maybe 60 to 70 pages, again, for Felix, that's an hour-ish,
Okay.
roughly, maybe under. Would you want to read whole thing, or would you want to skim and do an investigation check? You've only
I
got
guess-
4 books, like...
Yeah, I mean, I think I would just take my time with it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So then I would say as you're reading, you would see that the early pages feel a little inconsequential to you. It's genuinely the composition of like construction materials, like how to build wattle and daub houses, like
Right.
clay, stone, mortar, like figuring out how to actually build a civilization. There is definitively a section that seems like it changes and is something in relation to a degree what we've seen. It discusses the specific stones from Imperia that were used to also construct Whitehall for a court site for being a stone of rare, durable nature. Not necessarily exclusively in a physical means, as though it bears some resistance towards external magical pressures or force.
Okay.
And then throughout the book, there would be discussions of other stones, rocks, and gems that would have similar qualities. It would start to give a little bit of a foray into the magical components for spells for what uses like gemstones. So like for Revivify using a diamond.
Right.
It's not
Okay.
going to go deeply into those because this is predominantly used for construction. So it would say something along the lines of like, diamond is actually not a good construction material because of its rarity, because of its brittleness, and because it is better utilized in magical spells and components. The thing that would then stand out towards the end is obsidian is specifically utilized in magical means for the prevention of scrying, and because for its value as flash freezing, like flash cooling, it works very well for sealing things as like a containment stone in a
Yep.
magical means.
Yeah, I just pat the dagger that I sealed away.
Correct.
Because fuck them.
It would specifically say, though, that obsidian, with also being a brittle, it's snappable.
Okay.
Like, pressure on won't do too much, but you try to bend, it will snap. So it would, to a degree, discuss the difference between hardness and brittle.
Got it. I guess halfway through the book, once I get to the section about where you would mention stones and things like that being used in magical means and summon spells, with diamond, I would have stopped midway and then gotten up and went over to the book that Dorrance had talked about, rocks and stones.
Yeah.
And great, because it was another old
Correct.
one, right? Yeah, and
Correct.
would have grabbed that and added that to the collection.
Sure, yeah, no, absolutely.
Sat back down and continued to read.
Yep, especially because he's still over on the other side, so he wouldn't even notice you taking another book. He hasn't really had a problem with you guys taking some books so far, so yeah, no, we can absolutely add that one to the list.
All right.
We'll do the next book for you then also, just because I'm imagining other people are going to continue to be doing things with these only being roughly 45 minutes to an hour a pop. They realistically will be returning during the point of this book, but it's easier to just satisfy this one now. So this way, if you want to contribute to conversations when they're coming back, we've already resolved the book.
Okay. So for number 3, I'm gonna get nice and comfortable. Hold the book above me. I'm gonna lay on a table, just not using my arms, just mystic hand, just
hold it above. And
and
flip
just
the
flip
pages.
the pages.
Sure.
Real chill.
Yes. This one would be specifically about jewel setting and in the means of the creation of magical items as well.
Not the rock book, right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, for one back here.
All right.
And then you would want to do same. It's roughly the same size, like
Yeah,
60
I
to
mean,
80
I would
pages.
just take my
your
time with these.
for all
Yeah,
of them. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. So this one would discuss the idea of. It clearly doesn't make sense that just putting a gem into an item makes the item more powerful. There has to be some kind of pertinent magical ritual, or in the same way when I discuss magic with being spiritual, there has to be some kind of spiritual linkage to imbue the power of the gem into the magical item. It seems like it's something that, in the same way when I've talked about Mistra, there's a natural proclivity. It seems like this person's thoughts lead them towards the idea of dwarves and gnomes as individuals who commonly live in the mountains or in hillish areas that have more of a natural, innate sense of familiarity and almost can hear the stones, are capable of understanding the language of them. This would then kind of border on the idea of alchemy, with the notion of all things have a soul or a spirit, and the belief that, hey, that might actually be accurate, and the way you make a magic item is you link the soul of the item to the soul of what's being embedded. And that harmony is what creates something new. What's up?
Could you repeat that one more time for
Nope,
me? So
he's reading it.
God damn it.
Wait, you just
Paul,
did
do you
like
need
the word
anything
harmony.
You said link the soul of an item to what's being embedded?
Imbued or embedded, yes.
All right. Yeah, no, I'm good. If there's any more on that book, I don't know.
In terms of jewel setting and jewel crafting and things like that, it would then discuss the idea of the easiest way to do this would be in rings and necklaces, stuff that would be capable of being worn and almost naturally protected by being out of the way of combat.
Right.
So hey, it's probably going to be dramatically more dangerous if you're imbuing something into either a weapon or an armor, because jewels are still fragile. Mm-hmm. There would be a demonstration of an item when the thing that is imbuing it, like the gem, for example, is destroyed or damaged, the magic in the item is also going to be lost.
Gotcha. Okay.
So just because something is linked together does not mean it's permanent. It can be sundered.
Just like you, Don.
Magic.
Not even either. Just Don.
Just me. I expect it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Cool.
No, that's a okay. All right. I'm gonna hold on to that one. Yeah. All right.
Yep. Don and Sarah, you two are returning to the keep.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm assuming you're just literally going back to the spot where Barry was asleep.
Yep, we're gonna go.
We're not getting him first. We're
Oh.
going to go attempt to find the list that was talked about that would have been in the castle of people that went out on pilgrimage. So we're going to look for like a records room.
Oh, sure, yeah.
First, because we had told...
That's in the keep?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we were told it was in the keep because we also want to let him rest for as long as possible. So
Sure.
we're just getting him on like the way back.
Yeah, absolutely. Well then, both of you make investigation checks for me. I mean, unless we both nat 1 will realistically find it, it's just going to be, again, about the amount of time it's going to take you to find it.
19 on the
19,
die.
okay,
Plus
yeah.
120.
Cool.
We go with his.
Sure, absolutely. So, I mean, I would say you guys would enter. You would see the 2, like, receiving halls in the bottom of the keep. It would be sensible for you to be like, based on what we've seen in Felfar, then realistically, records like that for coming and goings would be kept near the thoroughfare.
Yep.
This isn't a thoroughfare. This is the entrance hall. It's probably in this vicinity because they would have wanted to check people in and out before they left.
For sure.
Literally in one of the rooms to the right, it looks like it's, a small little receptionist-style desk. You're like, yeah, this definitely is the place. You go inside. You open literally 2 fucking, drawers within a long... flat, like, writing-style desk. Open the drawers. It's a handful of scrolls. I would say that they are not in a immediately cohesive order to you. It's not like it's a book that's bound.
Yeah.
It's scrolls.
Sure.
You can see that there's not years on them either.
Sure.
It's a list of names, and it's a list of locations.
Okay. Yeah, I would be looking for any of the locations from the list that we had found in the journal. The like major, which is going to be, I guess,
It's all the places.
Yeah,
like
sure.
that is kind of the difficulty in that regard.
Sure. I would look for historical names that we know or names of people
Real
that
quick,
we know.
just to interrupt you. One additional thing, just so this way it might
sure.
affect your decision-making process. It would be the name, the location they were going, whether or not they returned. Some of them might be still not marked.
Sure.
Because they might still be out on the pilgrimage. Whether or not they've returned, and then... It would be a very brief, like, few-word description of what they were looking for.
Okay.
So, like, if that affects your decision-making, that is why I wanted to interject.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I would definitely keep my eyes open at what they're looking for in case there is something that jumps out to me as either being related to the list that we found.
Sure.
Or, they're not going for, like, generic things, like very specific,
Yes, correct.
important things.
Correct.
I would try to keep an eye out for that. Historical names are names of people that we know. And I would also, as we're flipping through, try to keep a mental note of if there is any place that someone has gone that they have not returned. Or, like, the majority of the people didn't come back.
Yeah. Both of you can roll investigation checks, because, again, there's going to be, like, 20 to 30 pages here for, like, reasonably long, like, rolled-up scrolls.
Yep.
So, like, yonder in length, and, again, reasonably small writing.
Is there, like, any progression in age of the scrolls where we'd be able to, like, kind of categorize?
Yeah, sure.
Like, even if it's not specific years, like, which ones are the older ones versus the...
Yeah, you can make an investigation check for that first.
Okay, so the first investigation check that I rolled is going to be 14.
Okay. Yeah, we'll just give it a nice easy round number, and we'll say that there's 30 pages.
Okay.
I'll say that you get at least a reasonable understanding of what's probably the oldest and what's probably the newest.
Yeah.
That middle section is going to get pretty fucking clunky and uncertain. So, like, you can roughly imagine the opening maybe 5 pages, and then the most recent, like, 3 or 4. And then, yeah, if you want to roll the investigation checks, that's what you said you're looking for. Are you looking for anything in particular within the scrolls? So again, it's their names, the locations they were going. If they've returned, again, some of them will be unmarked, implying that they might still be out on their pilgrimage.
and then what they were looking for in a very brief description.
Yeah, with what they're looking for, I would just see if there was like any trends. I guess like if there was like, you know, in this time period, like X number of people went to this place looking for the same piece of information. If they came back, if they didn't, if anything that stands out.
Gotcha. So what I'm going to say then is, like, again, because I said you guys don't really need to see this, but this is just so like I can explain what I'm attempting to do. If it's 30 pages and I'm saying you can kind of categorize the opening 5, the opening 5, and then the ambiguous central 20, because the papers are going to be pretty comparable in descriptive quality, just so when I give you answers, you can know what I'm saying.
Yep.
Sure, absolutely.
You can roll your investigation check also, Sarah. Did you roll
I did 19.
19.
Again, plus 120.
I got a 15.
Cool. We'll resolve the lower one first. In terms of trends, right? And then, sorry, can you please remind me of anything else?
Trends on what they're looking for.
Okay.
And like whether they.
There's like multiple people looking for the same thing.
Yeah, multiple
right?
people looking for the same thing.
Sure.
And whether or not they returned with that information.
Sure. Okay. So, in this oldest section here, most of them that are initially being sent out for you, you would see that there is a clear trend in terms of almost evaluation for the construction of cities. So, like, you would see 2 or 3 people maybe sent towards the direction of Felfarthen, 2 or 3 sent towards Alglatha, towards Hostrukar, the notable cities within the area, and they would all be returning. And they would be not giving, you know, they're not going to give the updates here. That's what the journals are for. But it's like people in the beginning checking out the constructions of the cities, all of them returning. Trends within this then 20-year period.
And do we recognize all the names of the cities?
Yes. Except for one.
Except for one.
You would see that in this early stages here, there would not be a mention of a city called Oshuamp. There would be mention of a city named Thelihill. Thelihill.
This is me tired of your shit.
I know, right? Oh yeah, dude. Literally when I said it to you before, I was like, it's one of those things of, man, like it's a good feeling for why it is that.
Yeah.
You would see, again, within this ambiguous area, people are still being sent out predominantly to evaluate. Like, again, when I'm saying it's giving a brief description, it is trying to use ambiguous language like that, like evaluate state of Felfarthen, or evaluate safety of Alglatha. There would definitively be some within Alglatha for when they're saying that they're sent towards Alglatha. It would say evaluate grove and sanctuary.
But mainly evaluate.
Correct.
And collect information, not like obtain
Correct.
items.
Yeah, they're not getting things. Like, again, they are bookkeeping. It's like, hey, make sure nothing's fallen to shit yet. The first place you would see that there would be noticeable changes for in terms of people not returning Would be Thelahill.
In that midsection.
Correct. That people would have been sent out to evaluate the state of Thelahill. And then within, you know, another like scroll or so, you would see excavate and search ruins.
For Thalahill?
Mm-hmm. Of the people?
Yeah.
Oh, there's names of people, yeah. You're not here, Paul.
I know.
I had a
Yeah.
start. I had.
That's his thing.
Yeah, that's on my, it's on my list.
Mm-hmm. Tim Poster.
No!
Rotio, Tom?
They would then be within that area.
Traitor.
Evaluate construction of new city. It would still be called Thelahill.
Still called Thalahill.
Correct.
Is that Elvish?
Yes.
Do I know what it means?
The Great Hall.
Oh no.
Oh no, indeed. You would start to see, like, evaluate, you know, start to, it seems like it almost goes back to like a return to normal.
Mm-hmm.
Evaluate completion of Thelahill. Excavate, continue excavation of ruins would be alongside that. The first place to fall after that, in terms of people starting to not return, would be Alglatha.
Do people start returning more often from Thalahill
Correct.
after that point?
Hmm. For Alglatha specifically, just to be brief and direct with it, the chronological trend that you would see would be an evaluation of the Grove, the royal family, investigate betrayal or abandonment, and then there would be a series of people that would have been sent out and would not have returned, that would have been given the same task. Discern location.
None of them returned.
None of them returned. Sprinkled throughout the remainder of that 20 years, just to give you the completion of that trend, you would start to see like sprinkled in where it's like, you know, 3 or 4 people sent towards Alglatha. You would see once again a discussion of Thelahill, excavations of ruins, city, question mark, destroyed, question mark, unknown, question mark. Because trying to convey that it's sprinkled in at the comparable time of Alglatha, that these seem to be events occurring at similar times.
So, fall of Thelahill.
Thelahill is then
Rebuild
reconstructed.
Thelahill, and
Yeah,
then
other places
fall
are just
of-
being properly evaluated, pretty much kept up to date. Alglatha starts to experience some kind of fall to ruin. They think it has something to do with the royal family, with either a betrayal or an abandonment, like somebody abdicating a position of power. At that same time, you see that Thelahill seems like it is once again sacked or destroyed. Something catastrophic occurs to Thelahill.
Again.
Correct. Again. They are completely unaware of what happens to that. The people do not return. Around that same time, you would start to see people stop returning from Doom Hall. It would start to discuss a contagion. You would see people that were sent in the direction of Alglatha still not returning. You would see people then shift from Alglatha and whatever ruins there might be, exclusively going to find the grove. And people not returning.
Okay.
You would see people sent around this time in the direction to Last Watch, discussing a civil war. You would see people start to stop return. You would see fearful dissension between two.
Can you repeat that?
Fearful dissension between two. TWO.
Is that also with Last Watch?
Correct. You would see people sent out to a new city, Oshuamp. It would say specifically, check state of sunken seal. You would see a person, again, sent out shortly after, like one or two people down in the list. Again, to Oshuamp, evaluate treaty with orcs. Another person would be sent out shortly after to evaluate success of obsidian walls. You would see somebody shortly after in the direction of Doom Hall who has not returned. Their task would have been, again, I'm going to keep using the word evaluate because it's what they would have written. Evaluate severance with Last Watch.
There were mentions of Doom Hall prior to that, right?
Yeah, for Doom Hall just being evaluated and then succumbing to a suspicious contagion, and then a seeming split with Last Watch. Around this time is when you would see, because through this point, Hostrukar has been pretty innocuous. It doesn't seem like there's really been any problems with Hostrukar as one of the predominant cities. Around this time, you would see Hostrukar evaluate damage of storm. you would see other people sent out like en masse, like maybe 8 to 10 people towards Hostrukar. This would be the first time that you would see retrieve. And it would say retrieve scattered remains for examination. Around this time, you would see people once again sent out towards Alglatha to investigate cavernous regions below. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
After that, you would see people in the direction of Felfarthen stop returning. The people towards Felfarthen would be predominantly occupied with discovering an entrance.
After they stop returning?
Mm-hmm. Discover new entrance. You would see several people not return. You would see then one person towards kind of like this most recent area, like you're starting to hit the like
the newer
first or second
pages.
Yeah, like genuinely you're hitting like almost the what you would assume is the most recent, because I'll say that you can tell which one is the most recent. It's incomplete. One of the people on that page you would see sent in the direction of Felvar then, and it would be construct new marker.
Marker?
Yeah.
Huh.
That person would have returned.
Oh, thank you.
What's the name of that person?
I would be sharing this with Ether as I
you're looking over the pages together. Well done. You're gonna love me, but you're gonna hate me. Brick Mason the Fourth.
Why are you talk to me? I wanted to say Brick. Fuck you.
You let him.
I was outvoted.
I know. I'm sorry.
By both of those fuckers. No, we gotta save the fucking spider lady.
We didn't know.
Make the right call.
I tried to save Brick.
I don't want to hear it.
He was crushed to death. I tried.
No, there's no.
You really did try. You
really
failed
tried.
like 3 straight
I
checks,
really
and you
tried.
ended up crushing him. And he's, oh, how could you do this to me? Graham, I thought we were friends.
Then I saved him with his hammer.
Yep.
But he didn't.
And then, all right, Jesus Christ, Tom, what the fuck were you looking at?
Names that we would be aware of.
Brick Mason.
Like names of people we know, historical names, and if there were places where people consistently didn't come back from, which you kind of covered with this, and if they were looking for like relics or items that seemed.
Yeah, that's
Just
kind of
about-
why I
which
was
is pretty
like,
much
I'm
that.
going to resolve the first thing with her for the lower check, because it's going to get a fair amount of what you wanted to get anyway.
So really it's just names that we would recognize then.
Sure.
Because everything else you kind of covered with
Yes.
the timeline. So
I would say that in that time frame for names that would stand out to you, because like she's mostly checking like reasons.
yeah.
You're kind of trying to pay closer attention to names, like as you two are working through these lists
Yes.
together, you know, like side by side, like looking over these parchments. I would say that there would be not a name that you would recognize in terms of like, holy shit, you would have anticipated like this name having necessarily been here. Just for what, I mean, to be direct in terms of what you would think that this person would have done.
Sure.
You would see the name Osidor appear only once.
Okay.
As someone sent out?
Yep.
Oh.
Makes sense.
To Oshuamp, presumably.
To Oshuamp, presumably.
Would that have been to Oshuamp or
Oh,
to
yeah, to
Thelahill?
Thelahill.
It's to Oshuamp.
Is there a goal for that one?
Yes, indeed.
And did he return?
Didn't return. His goal is construct new seal.
Meet your doom.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. I don't think there's really much else.
Okay.
Because that's a lot of shit.
Yep.
I would say that with it being like 30 pieces of parchment, like you guys are going to be spending quite a fair amount of time doing that.
Yeah.
Like, especially with it being, like, obviously when you're reading a book, it's going to feel more continuous and sensible. Like, there's obviously trends here, but
yeah.
there's a fair number of names where you guys are getting like, okay, another fucking evaluator, another fucking evaluator.
For sure.
Like, this is, you know, they're land surveyors, to be blunt.
Yeah, he had a bunch of books to go through,
Yes.
so that's fine.
We're skimming.
Yes.
Like,
So, like, you guys are resolving that. I'm going to hop back to you in a sec. Chell, was there anything after you give him a little besito?
No,
Excuse me?
you don't have to discuss it here. I was just curious as to what the little storybook about the witch was.
Oh, no. I mean, the little storybook about the witch really matters.
I mean, it's not that big of a deal. It's
No,
not
no,
even
no.
I've witches in your everything.
You wanted to read it
No, we don't use those
throughout,
phrases.
correct?
because it was a small book, yeah.
Yep, yeah, because again, it's a novella. It's maybe like 50 to 60 pages.
Yeah.
Great. So, we'll hop back to notes on that side.
Oops.
Man,
Just ask that homeless guy.
so much lore, Don.
It's a lot of lore.
Yeah. Like,
Lordy, lord.
yep. As you're reading it, it would feel, as a person that grew up reading, like, genuinely a shitload of children's tales, this would feel to you not the same, like, very whimsical, fantastical writings of T.U. Erdel. This would feel like something that you would have started to read as a teenager, like, right before you would have left home. Not in terms of, like, writing style, but just in terms of, like, maturity in the content.
Sure.
This one, when it's discussing a witch, it's speaking specifically about... Have a good title.
Ham of Ruin.
Excuse you?
Sometimes simple is best. The First Coven.
Oh dear.
It's fine.
Oh bother.
Hey, I'm Winnie the Pooh. Forget about it.
He's an Italian too.
Fucking buddy.
Yeah. I'll ignore your coven. There's no need to cry over spilled honey. Wait, isn't there a horror movie coming out? Winnie the Pooh? What is it called? Just Winnie the Pooh?
I think it's
Blood
out.
and honey.
Blood and honey. It's out.
Yeah. Sponsor us.
Yes. Don't know. What? Wing shake. What? What is this?
No.
Yeah. It very much fits with our theme.
Winnie the Pooh.
Isn't Blood and Honey the second book in that series we were reading?
Yeah, that's Hud and Bloody.
No, I think it's...
Excuse you?
Hud and Bloody.
You're done.
I don't think it is.
Serpent and Dove.
Blood and... Wait,
I think I like Blood and Honey. That's weird. Yeah.
Blood money. Well, that makes more sense.
Honey money.
Blood and Punny.
What are they about? Like beekeeper gang wars? Like what? I
Yeah.
don't know.
It feels like sex work.
What?
Honey money?
No. Blood and honey.
Oh.
It's the Comb Wars.
Who's one?
That's got it. Please make a B movie too.
It is Blood.
B movie 2.
Blood and honey.
TM, Jerry, Seinfeld, call me.
Call
Let's
us.
talk about jazz.
Cool. So, as you're reading this, it would feel not like it's necessarily writ written from a first-person perspective. This would feel like a third-person omniscient narrator.
Okay.
Discussing the tale of a young woman who, well, in the same way that I felt obligated almost inherently to do my absolute best to ruin Hades Town for Sarah.
God, don't you fucking...
I will tell you that it is a harrowing tale about a young woman who, in a fit of desperation, prayed late at night for help and heard a voice call out to her, offering to assist her.
Son of a bitch.
In a way that only it could. This young woman felt a nurturing presence call out to her as though it could guide her and support her in pursuing the things that would offer her a free life. A life that she had taken from her by a royal decree that felt unfair to her, unfitting. That this woman meets with, speaks to, and becomes, well, almost like the guiding force, the embodiment of this creature of the night, of the dark, of the woods. And that she adopts for herself this mantle given to her, the Night Mother.
There it is.
I just crossed out the first covenant, just wrote the invisible life of Adam.
You're welcome.
What is it? Like, don't pray to the
Gods after dark? Yeah.
And
That's
beware
pray to
those
Night
that answer.
Yeah.
Where are the guns?
I will tell
Arthur's
you
got
that it continues to talk about her efforts to take her vengeance upon that royal family that stripped of her freedom. That denied her.
You bitch!
I hate you!
It's why we play, baby!
I hate you so much! You fucking fella!
I literally looked at him as soon as you said
Yep!
Damn it! I'm staying out here! Let me know when you're done.
That it denied her and her family.
Come on, Paul.
The chance to save her people before it was too late.
So she takes vengeance on the royal family.
She aims to take vengeance on the royal family that stripped her of her freedom and denied her of the opportunity to save her family and her people before it was too late. I can see him fucking peeping.
he's lurking. He's waiting.
Elongated peeping.
That she feels the growing power of the Night Mother within her. And this is gonna feel really weird to say. But like, again, the narrative sense of me knows that it's like, this is fucking... This means something important, and there's no better way to say it. Please forgive me. To suckle at the teat of darkness within.
That's not nearly as.
Yeah, I mean, again,
expected it
like,
to be. Like, what on
yeah,
earth is
suck the cock of the devil. I'm clearly not going to that regard.
I mean, see, you have no problem saying that. So.
Well, yeah, that was hysterical. But this one, because it's meaningful.
See, this time I didn't do it.
And be like,
This time I didn't do it. I didn't low road that one.
But to suckle at the teat of darkness within, and to again, feel the power of the night grow within her. In order to achieve her goal, she pursues a pair that will assist her. Children that she may then nurture of her own. And it would just finish with the line, the word specifically, hyphenated, capitalized on the first letter, Bloom Daughters. So, capital B, Bloom hyphen Daughters.
So they seek out a pair to provide them.
Yes.
Or she seeks out a pair to provide her a child that she will then turn.
That she would consider children of her own. So not that she wants to actually have children, but she seeks out a pair of a pair of people that she's calling Bloom Daughters that she would then take for herself as her children.
Okay.
Does that make more sense?
Yeah, I thought you were saying like a pair to provide her a child.
No,
Okay,
yes.
so a pair of children.
Correct. She specifically is looking for 2 children that she calls Bloom Daughters.
She shows up in the night. Now kiss.
Same character. You idiot.
Not the same character. Part of the coven. Different person. It's fine.
No, it's literally the same person.
I'm not dead yet, so hey, I've got insurance.
There you go, right to the bag.
Life bag insurance. That's
Yeah,
what
so
you
I can continue to do what I'm doing. It's insurance.
Helping, Don.
Yeah.
Helping.
Yeah.
Taking out a huge afterlife policy.
Yeah.
I'm calling it. That was a huge audible. He was like, I got him again.
I would have woken up to the smell of road ham.
Bam.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
As soon as it comes through the door.
Yep. People would have opened the door. Doran would have been just kind of like. I mean, he definitely would have looked back over in the nonfiction section, seen Felix just like literally the edge of his feet into the aisle. And, oh, he's dead overeating. Either way, I'm not bothered. You two are still gone. You're sitting over in the corner. Vorst is waking up at the smell of road ham. The doors would open. For those people in the library, you would obviously hear this. He would look over in the direction and just turn to like the elves. Oh my God! Oh dear. Help! Someone! Help! There are strange people. More of them. I do not know what to do. Who are you? And he just looks at, Felthul, who just, kind of gives a little bit of like a bow and just, quietly introduces himself. So like you two who are closer to the up front would hear him just, my name is Felthul. Demon Caller! My God! Yes, forgive me, I don't actually do that. Well, that's a strange reason for a name then. Well, they wanted me to do demon calling. I feel that.
Speaking, would you do books on demon calling?
Would do books on demon calling. I'm trying to learn. Let me go to the demon calling section. I'll be right back.
Wait, that's
Fiction,
a
non-fiction,
section?
demon calling.
Everything is chronological except for the one section
Yeah.
on demon calling.
Fiction, non-fiction, demon calling.
We only did that once and it didn't work out.
Adult.
Hobbling over towards the nonfiction section again. The other vampire women step in and Yaz steps in and she's like, hey, I don't read no fucking books. I can't understand you. Oh, I've never read before. Oh, that's quite sad. Your friend over there looks like she's very absorbed in a book. Yeah, I'm gonna go sit with that lady. And she just kind of like wanders over to you and she just, what are you reading? Oh wait, sorry, you speak Castle. Hey, what the fuck's the book?
I don't know. The dude recommended it to me. It was
You mean that red dude up front?
Yeah,
That's
gave
a
me
good
a book.
guy.
It's about, I think, the first coven.
Coven?
Yeah, and I tell her this story about everything that was given to me.
Oh, that's some scary shit.
Yeah.
I don't really know what a coven is. I'm a little girl.
It's something.
A coven is a like witches,
Oh,
but 3 of them. Like you know how like a bunch of birds make up a flock?
yeah.
3
we had
witches
one
make
of
up a
them.
coven.
All right. Okay.
It's a bird. Of course you.
Yeah, I mean,
Two rights.
that checks out.
3 witches make a coven.
All right. Are you in one of them?
What, 3 of them?
No.
Boy, that's
Do you want to be in a coven?
Makes a lot.
I don't know any other witches.
What does it take to be in a coven? Can I be in a coven with you? You seem pretty cool. There's also 2 other vampire women right over there, and that kind of seems like you're in a vampire coven, if I'm gonna be honest.
I guess it kind of. Well,
There's a 4th one. She's just not
it's
with
more
us.
than 3, so I'm not really
2
sure.
covens.
I don't know the semantics
3
of what makes a
covens.
coven
The best I can offer you is a 4th coven.
in this economy.
4 covens?
translation.
3 full H's?
You know what, kid? If you want to join my coven, I'd have you in my coven.
All right, I'm gonna need some kind of witch name then.
What's her name?
Gabagool.
Yes.
Gobbledygoo.
I'm assuming you got a witch name then?
Demon caller. It was right there.
It was.
I'm going with Demon Caller. It's absolutely Demon Caller. Sylvan.
Just in common, demon caller.
No, it's Sylvan.
Demon caller.
Demon Caller.
Isn't that
Ooh,
rhetorical?
right. I really like that name, Ritora. That's a good name. Wait, isn't your friend that?
She's not necessarily in the coven, so
Oh,
we'll call you
alright.
Coven Ritora.
Okay.
If she decides to join the coven, we'll have a change of name.
Yeah, she can be the junior. All right. I really appreciate my position of superiority over that lady.
She literally aged. When
She aged 70 years, not 1,000.
Yeah, she's
God
like 200
damn.
something
she
now, right?
looks like she's 70 years old, like human, right?
No, I look like I'm probably in my 30s.
Yeah.
Oh, I misinterpreted. I thought you were like saggy skin and like old. Like you said 70 years, and I was like, oh my god, it's like a billion years ago.
I know, I aged
Okay.
69 regular years,
Yeah.
so it would have been.
Nice.
She's
I'm like
Hideous.
200.
30. Yikes.
She looks like she belongs in the coven. I mean,
Hey, yo!
She looks like what Dora thought witches looked like. My God.
Jesus.
Feels really good to be a part of a new family. When you hear,
Your family.
you got it, it's a coven
Hey,
statement.
go. Bibbidi bobbidi, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, you know. Fucking...
We're just going back and forth like this.
Bobbity boopity! And Dora just. You're speaking Sylvan over there. I've not heard Sylvan in years. Where's that demon calling? Yeah, I mean, Rare just slamming ham.
Don't say that.
Slamming ham.
Slamming ham.
Say that.
Cut that too. Just slamming hay.
I mean, he would see you over asleep, and he would just kind of like
The library, sir.
slowly waddle over and just hold out a ham. I got 2 hams.
Oh, like ham.
Yeah,
Put on the go.
yeah, road ham.
Road ham.
We should start a business.
Nice and road ham tea.
I hate you.
We could definitely sell hams to people.
Jack like ham sales.
What? Traveling hams.
I don't know what you guys are saying.
She said traveling ham salesman and just lost her fucking shit.
They can have tiny,
We gotta
tiny
give
little
up
chef's hats.
the adventuring stuff. It's over. No, we're ham man now.
Ham man?
Ham man.
What is it? The boys giving each other road ham.
That's how they open up. Just a couple boys trying to give you some road ham.
It's delicious. You'd be
Hold
full
on
for a
tight to
whole
those
week.
reins. You don't want to crash the garage.
What are you doing back there? Just glazing the ham. Don't mind me.
Got a whole pot of it.
Why did it have to be ham? It could have been any other food.
Got a wonderful rub, right? Road rub, if you will.
We're gonna be here all night.
We've lost control.
We're never gonna get out of this library.
See, we're really ham-fisting these.
Hey, if it's a whole fist, it's a compliment.
Oh my god.
Why are you in the library? You don't read?
I was.
You read?
I can.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Since when?
Since always.
Why didn't you teach me how to read?
You never asked.
Oh, shit.
You were too worried about finding food or swinging a hammer. Hammer.
Yeah. I don't follow.
Make a hammer out of ham
To hit people?
and eat at the same time.
Bam. Bam. Bam.
Bam.
I love it. Okay. We gotta get a lot of pigs.
Yeah, why don't you go down to the end there where like they're all the
pigs?
the colorful small books.
Oh.
A lot of pictures.
Okay.
I should go check one of those out. I'm gonna try to finish reading this. I fell asleep.
Alright, yeah, he walks over and just picks up a book that he's like, I don't understand. And he opens it and you just see a little pop up. And it's just like, it's a dog. Clearly blind.
It's in the third book! It's in the third book!
Yeah.
I need that! I need the third book!
Dude, this book's got a dog. Oh, the dog's dead.
Dude,
One page later.
it's just one page!
And he turns it again and the dog gets back out. Dude, the dog's up again.
It's the third book,
And
yeah!
he turns the page and there's an owlbear. Like lurking behind like a little pop-up tray. Dude, fuck, it's an owlbear. And it's just the owlbear like creeping towards the fucking dog.
Is it one of those like pull tab?
Yeah. 100% where like it slides away. No, dog, dude, look out! And then you see the dog just turn around and like on all fours, just like scratching at the owlbear's face, and like he keeps pulling, it's the dog keeps scratching. Dude, books rule. Why was I ever doing anything else with my life?
Book 3 is a pop-up book.
And he turns the page and it's just the owlbear just on the ground and the dog just like clearly flexing.
Oh no, he won. He won this time.
This dog's fucking ripped.
Dog wins.
I like the dog.
Third fight with owlbear.
Turns it. And it's just the dog just like sleeping on the ground, just like tongue out. Just like a piece of ham. Just on the ground.
The ham moves.
Yeah, the ham moves. Just it goes into and out of its mouth. I can feed the dog.
Does he rip the ham out of the book?
This tastes like shit. This isn't as good as our road ham idea, dude. I don't like book ham.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Books suck.
We're going 1 and 2 like actual novels,
Yes.
and the third was
Yeah, dude.
The third was retcon.
This is like fucking Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
This is the shit one.
it gets so much better. So much better than that. So I had asked John about books 1 and 2, and he said roll for it. I think I like nat 20'd it or something. He was like, make it your own meaning. You could, and it was like I did write out a whole thing for the first 2 books, and then it was like the fact that it turned into a pop-up book makes it so good.
And he just slams the book closed and throws it on the ground. I'm never gonna read again. What do I do now? I'm bored. There's no more ham. Book's over. He just like starts pushing at the book. I don't want to be here. Help!
I'm gonna take a bite of my ham and then hand
me?
him the ham.
Oh yeah, that's better than book ham. I'm gonna go sit outside. I don't really like being around books now. They make me sad.
Alright, I'll be out in a minute. I just need to finish going over these real quick.
Okay. And he just walks by. Just opens the door. Just slams the door shut, and you just hear him just heavily plop down like right outside the door. You just hear him singing, ham.
I'll look over at
My favorite thing.
I'll look over at Thariel after he walks out and go, I guess the books are right. You can't look a blind dog in the eye.
I have that book on demon calling. Oh, where's the orc man?
Demon calling?
Oh, yes, the orc man asked for a demon calling book.
Phil.
He said he doesn't do that. I would just lean out and I guess look towards the entrance.
Yeah.
And just shrug it fell through.
Oh, I mean, I don't do it, but it would be nice to know if anyone else has successfully done it.
Obviously. Otherwise people wouldn't be called demon callers.
You heard him, little girl. Go get him. He's calling your name.
Hey, it's me, Coven Rithora.
Check your notes.
She just waddles over more, so she's got a little notepad. Hey, Felthul, I got some questions. I've recently joined a coven, and I've got to interrogate you. And he's like, I don't understand you! Speak common! I'm part of that lady's coven now. I think I'm supposed to call demons into the world, and I just heard you talk about a demon book about calling them into the world. Would you like to read it to me? Hello? That sounds like a wonderful father-daughter experience.
No.
There's a chair over here.
What? Father-daughter bonding.
You're not
What is
here!
this?
And he just,
Get out of your fake Retora.
walks over to like a big chair, big comfy like leather chair, and he just plops in and she sits on his lap and he goes, the first name of Satan.
Just look at Doran. Why did you give them the book?
What?
Why did you give them that book?
Oh, he asked. I am a librarian. I'm honor bound to give them the books they request.
Do you have any books on killing Barry?
Oh, no.
If you did, would you tell me?
No. Well, there's no killing Barry. He's, some kind of horrific monster.
Monster.
Oh shit! You're not the witch lady. I'm not supposed to say that. Barry's a good man.
I'm gonna pop my head over the top.
Who's a monster?
Holy shit! A dog. The dog. I forgot your name. Sorry.
Who's a monster?
Barry?
No, not Barry. Barry's a good man.
Mary's not a monster.
No, he's just like obviously nervously like tapping at nothing in front of himself. Just, oh dear, not something that I said.
So that weird dog that scratched him didn't turn him into anything weird?
Oh no, that is what turned him into a monster. I mean.
So he is a monster.
No, it turned him into a better form of Barry. Better Barry.
I mean, technically speaking, you're not wrong.
Yes.
Better pizza, better berry.
Whitehall.
I'm just gonna slowly lower myself back down.
Okay. Don't go anywhere?
Oh no, I'm ripe for death.
Who's deaf?
Do you want to die?
Oh, the dog in the book you were reading.
Oh shit, yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Lower back down onto the shelf again.
Do you want to die?
Oh, I've wanted to die ever since I was born. Whitehall's. I mean, I love life.
Name for this
Do you want to leave this place?
I would love nothing more, but I must remain. I am the only librarian.
Nobody's coming here.
You all came.
Yeah, but we got the ticket.
Yes.
Would you like to leave Whitehall?
Oh, again, I would love for nothing more, but I fear Barry's wrath should I abdicate my position.
Barry abandoned you.
I suppose you're right. But I feel remiss for abandoning the people of the world. It's important that the records of Whitehall remain intact.
Who's in line to take your place?
Well, Barry's supposed to pick someone. Which
Why can't you?
an alarming option. What about that orc man? Belflu's just, I'm not from here. Yeah, but you like reading.
He's also old.
Are you old?
And also dying.
I'm pretty old.
Yeah.
I'm in my 50s. You've got a good 15 years on me then. That's really not a lot of time.
15? He's the Dragon Boy's 35?
What? No.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, 15 years meaning he's 15 years younger than me.
Okay.
You know, we'd have 15 years of good bookkeeping. I don't want to do that. Damn. Well, I'm out of options. Unless you want to do it.
No.
Damn.
I mean, I do,
Oh,
but I can't.
Well,
But I can't.
contract served. My soul is free.
What?
What?
Your soul's not free.
Oh.
Felix?
What a
You're not
wretched
telling us
life
what
this
The
has been.
Revias aren't here. I don't know if your soul can go anywhere. In the this demi plane place. You might be trapped just like other Barry. I'm assuming he's trapped here.
Possibly.
Maybe don't tell him that.
I do not know. It would be bad if he was.
He told us that the body was burned and we're probably breathing it in.
You don't have to tell him that his soul's gonna be trapped here. That's kind of rude.
Berry barbecue.
Didn't you have ham? My ham?
No, I gave it away.
Free ham.
Yeah, I gave it to the other dog guy outside.
Oh, shit. Oh, wait, what am I thinking? I get free ham from Prudence whenever I want.
You
All
get
right.
free ham.
Oh, yes, it's... No one in Whitehall pays for anything if you're from Whitehall. There's no currency here. You just...
So what do you pay if you're not from here?
Can I?
Favors?
Oh, what did he do to get that ham?
Stop.
Don't ask him. Just don't. I don't want. And if you do, I don't want to be in earshot. Forrest, don't ask.
Go back to reading my two
Right.
books.
I guess we'll have to find someone to take your place. But you look healthy and alive.
Thank you. I'm not usually complimented on my physical appearance.
I like your red.
I like your green.
Thank you.
Thank you. A very vibrant color. Are you all, like, going to live here?
I'm almost done, and I'll pull over the fourth book,
Oh,
the biggest one.
darn.
Unless the rock one's bigger, but
No, the fourth one would be the biggest one.
Just gonna picture Dwayne on the front.
Oh,
oh no.
Dwayne.
Fast and the Furious. Fasten your seatbelts.
I hate you. I hate you.
This one would be about Diabolus.
Oh, nice. All right.
Almost building on the idea of fiendish incantations. The knowledge that during the Dawn War, weapons of fiends would do damage beyond that of just the physical form, but damage to the spirit. And that Diabolus were individuals who, over the course of the Dawn War, were specifically trained in alleviating these stains of the soul. The last pertinent thing in that would be almost like a concluding paragraph that would discuss and almost theorize that there's a recognition that Diabolists seem to frequently die young. that there is a worry that their work either robs them of their own vitality or marks them as cursed, almost drawing bad fate to them.
Sorry, robs them of their vitality or marks them?
Or marks them as cursed.
As cursed.
Almost drawing misfortune or fate towards them.
Well, that sucks. Equivalent exchange, one might say. Ooh, that's tough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It would not really have anything else in it, because it would be stuff that's like very hypothetical and theoretical. So it would just be like, how did Diabolus do it? Discussions on, it does not seem like it is exclusively just a magic spell, like a singular thing.
Right.
It would end up going towards the direction for what would seem comparable to what we did for Retora. The idea of a deeply invested and elaborate ritual.
Right. Right. That thing we all paid.
Yeah, that would result in a payment of one spirit or vitality. And that those who pay in such rituals would be considered, therefore, Diabolus, just by their task.
Well, look at that.
Forever marked.
Okay.
Well, in there.
I didn't want to take part!
I would say at that point you guys would be walking back in just for when we pick up next time, so this way we don't forget.
Friends, thank you very much for watching this evening. I hope you enjoyed the episode. We will be back on Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time for the Lost Kings of Edoras, and then next Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time for the city of Oshuamp. Thank you all very much, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.